this is the Dark Shore area. Okay.
And finally, Diablo Immortal.
Diablo.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a weird leak. So NetEase posted an image and then very quickly deleted it, but that of course did not stop Reddit from getting it. And the contents of this image don't look that good. It's a meeting between Blizzard and NetEase that's covering microtransactions. Now, the man giving the talk is Li Yang, who is the NetEase side producer of Diablo Immortal. The title of the slide is Gear Enhancement, and it's explaining a system that's basically the same as in other NetEase ARPGs. So in these games, upgrading gear is a really important part of progression, but doing so requires materials, and whenever you try to do it, there's a success chance, such that upgrading gear is a roll of the dice that costs resources. Now, you can purchase items to increase that upgrade success chance for real money. So in short, honestly, it's one of the worst ways to monetize a game from a consumer's perspective.
Consumer? Who cares about those?
Social status is tied to gear, so players who want a good guild and a good group to compete, they're going to feel pressure to invest more. Now, this is a wildly profitable model as shown in the other NetEase ARPGs. Of course, though, it could not look worse for Blizzard, especially because this happened only a week after they were quoted in interviews as saying they haven't talked about monetization because they were focusing on making the game look fun. And yeah, it's kind of rough. Now, look, this kind of makes sense. Monetization is at the core of the design of these games. These games are centrally designed around the monetization mechanic. Now, there are times that can be done respectfully, and maybe a game that's all about...
I like how Bellior referred to monetization as a mechanic. Right? Like raiding, dungeons, PvP, monetization. It's a core mechanic of the game. That's just beautiful. It's so effortless. He just puts it out there like a matter of fact. Like, oh yeah, monetization, the feature, the system.
Optional, cosmetics, but power progression is untouched, and it's a free game, so it's okay. But in a gear where it is about power progression, it's a big no-no. Now, the charitable impression is that this is the business model for the Chinese market. That would kind of make sense. Let's be real. This game is almost entirely made for the world's largest single market. They just want to make money from China, and this game probably does not have to do well in the EU or US to be a success. I actually wouldn't be surprised if it launched in Western regions with a separate business model, but if it does launch with this one, they're going to get roasted. Most of all, I kind of feel bad for the D4 devs because, first of all, development for that game seems to have been troubled, but they've then just had this random co-production appear and completely tank the public perception of the IP they've been pouring 4 years of their lives into, which is just rough. And then, I mean, obviously, if you're, for a fan of Diablo, none of this is great news. Now, of course, I do need to say, this is one slide from one presentation. The next slide could have been proposing a different system. This also isn't super official, but I mean, the people are pictured in it, so they obviously were there. But overall, though, it is just a bad look for Blizzard, and this continuing Diablo Immortal thing is just real rough, especially when you then hear, Alan Adams say that their top talent is working in mobile games for all IPs. Which is really rough, because if I'm then thinking, I'm a StarCraft 2 fan, right? It's like my first Blizzard love in terms of games. It would be kind of sad if maybe the person who could have been leading a new StarCraft title is instead working on a mobile game. Now, look, I understand it entirely from the business sense. And, I'm not against profit or, companies doing all that stuff, obviously. But... I will admit, it doesn't feel right, especially for a company like Blizzard, who, more than most companies, their name has carried real weight in the minds of people. It's why BlizzCon is, such a phenomenon. But
think about
if that starts to change, then...
Convention just for a company.
It really is quite rough. And I suppose the thing about...
They don't have Activision
talent, it's... Right, so let's just say you're doing a startup. The most important thing you can do is hire good people, because... company culture, culture comes from your first few hires and then it expands out, and getting good people to establish a team, that sets the tone for a whole project.
True.
Now, with Blizzard's top talent, so the people who be leading teams and leading sub-teams within those teams, if they're all going on to mobile projects, it does run the risk of there being a brain drain on other titles, right? The ones that maybe the core audience would care about a little bit more. A little bit of a bummer with Diablo Immortal and some of the background talk about Blizzard right now. I really hope they're able to come out with announcements and releases that make players more happy with them again. I want all of their core franchises to do really well. Obviously, I want StarCraft 3. I want Diablo 4. Whatever else they have working for Diablo. I think
StarCraft 3.
They're at a bit of a
still
crossroads right now
Brood
in their
War.
public perception, and I think once they lose it, it's going to be extremely hard to get it back. But there you go. That is it for the news.
That's
Definitely
actually a really
an
good
interesting
point.
week with all that Blizz and meta
Yeah, that's
talk.
a very big point.
As for the narrative, yep, it just... I mean, to be honest, I just want to hear what you've got to say in the narrative. I'm super keen to just sort of
Yeah, they're going to make Heroes of the Storm
temperature
too.
of things, how everybody feels about it, because yeah, it definitely is a little bit odd, especially for the Horde players. Now, if you're an Alliance player, then yeah, I mean, you've got a pretty simple faction who is at this stage transparently the good guy. So I guess there's a lot
the
less
Alliance is the
conflict
good
there.
guys,
Of course,
the Horde
it's always
is
possible
terrorists.
that this narrative choice
mean,
that I'm really excited
what else is
about,
new?
like when Alex was talking about that narrative choice with Sarfang versus Sylvanas, and there being like proper like results
come on.
and implications for players depending on their choice, that I was really excited when he was talking about that. So don't take me like wrong. There is hope for some really cool stuff happening that, unlike some of the criticisms that I have now, could actually be leveraging the fact that it's an MMO to tell a good story by having players within the Horde choose different sides. That could be awesome. But anyway, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.
Wow. So, if they announce Diablo 4 right now, everyone would love Blizzard and forget all about this immortal shit. They would, but it would always be... I don't know if that's really true. I think that if they announced Diablo 4, like let's say right now, Blizzard turned on their stream, I leached it on my stream, we watched it, they announced Diablo 4, we would be like, yeah, we made them do that. Haha. Gamers rise up, boys. Woo! You know, that's what it would be. So if Blizzard did something like that, they put themselves in a lose-lose situation now to where anything that they do, people are going to think that it's the community that made them do that, and it's not actually Blizzard doing it themselves, which implies that Blizzard doesn't care about the products themselves, and they're just doing it to stop people from complaining. So it's actually a really bad decision one way or another. I don't know what to do, right? I don't know what they should do, but it's kind of sad. But we made them, yeah. But the point is that making changes and doing things based off of outrage is usually just putting out fires. And what Blizzard should focus on doing is making sure that they don't start in the first place. Let me look at this clip here, at the picture right here. This is the upgrade system, and I want to actually dig a little bit deeper on this and see what this specifically is. Okay, new cam looks great. Say it's far worse. Yeah, Rethme, I know that, man. Please stop spamming the blocks of text to get attention. I really should, like, mods, if you see somebody like spamming blocks of text of the same question over and over to get it answered, please just time them out. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't want to fucking see it, because then everybody will do it. Because then if one person is spamming blocks of text to get attention, then everybody has to do that. It's like using, you know what it is? It's like using steroids. It's like using steroids. You think about it, right? And the argument against performance-enhancing drugs is that it makes everybody have to use them, or at least I think that's the strongest argument in my mind. And if one person is doing using the steroids, then everybody else has to do it too in order to compete on the same level. So if one person is spamming, then everybody else has to do it to compete on the same level. That's a lot. Let me look over here. All right. Was it Diablo Immortal leaks? Okay, I don't know how somehow it gave me there. Leaked meeting image, hence Diablo may be pay to win. Oh man, I would have never expected that. Who could have expected a mobile game being pay to win? Wow. Oh my God. What the fuck is this? Okay, just a second. Let me take a look here. One of the best indicators of how much fans hate the idea of a mobile Diablo game is the dislike ratio on the cinematic trailer on YouTube. It's currently standing at 25,000 likes and 658,000 dislikes, which translates into a staggering 96-to-1 ratio. That's a lot. Okay, where's the other one? Blizzard and NetEase have unwillingly provided another justification for the fan outrage as the latter posted a picture from one of their meetings discussing microtransactions. Well, of course, why do you think they're making the game? I don't think it's to make an authentic Diablo experience, even though that's what they sat in a fucking meeting and told everybody to say every single time that they brought up the game. It was so obvious and robotic and fucking, like, soulless that it was embarrassing. But that's okay. Let's just go ahead. We'll put that off, and it doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, because you know this is what they did, right? You had all these PR guys sit down, the Blizzard boys, and they said, okay, here's what we're going to say. We're going to call it Authentic Diablo Experience. And some Blizzard guys are, oh, real Diablo experience. Oh, no. An authentic Diablo experience. And they have to say that exact fucking thing. And it sounds so robotic, so pre-planned, so fucking corporate that it's disgusting. It really is. Maybe I'm a dick, but that's the way that pre-planned, yeah, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, NPCs. You talk to him, it's like the guy. And he's like, what do they even say in Stormwind? I don't even fucking know. Doesn't matter. Let me read here. All right, this is the picture, okay? Let's take a look at it. Okay, so this says, let me go ahead and open it up. View image. So let's go ahead and zoom all the way in here, and I'll show you guys what this says. So this says microtransactions. How to fuck the player base. Step 1 of 50. We will sell gear on the store and then make people pay to upgrade it. And this is the first item right here. Plus, and that's the item that you spend to upgrade. And then that's the better item. Okay? So this is what you buy on the store. It's the magic rocks. And if you buy enough magic rocks, you get a shitty item for a video game. It's great. Your new camera makes you look older.